I'm waiting for the thing. Okay. All right. We're live. Welcome back to Form Terror Fridays, everybody. Hope we get some people trickling in and checking out what we're doing. We're just hanging out, nothing crazy, but I always love to be able to talk to different artists that inspire me and that I just want to know more about their process or their history, all their inspiration. And the goal is to inspire others when they're watching this or listening to this whenever. So hopefully we get some people coming in and feel free to ask questions. Um, yeah. So without further ado, I want to introduce my buddy Evan Void. I've known him for a long time, and it's a pleasure to talk to him about his excellent tattoo work. So welcome, Evan.
Thanks so much for having me, man.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, it's fucking. I love. Well, first of all, I love your work, but we can get into that. It's just really cool to be able to talk to different artists, and I feel like this was kind of long overdue. So I'm really glad that we could make it happen.
Me too, man.
Fuck yeah! So I see. What are you in your basement studio?
Yeah, I'm in my home studio.
Hell yeah!
My drums right here. Look at
Oh
that.
fuck yeah, dude! That's sick. That looks good. I like that. And you've been
Thanks.
you've been hard at work making a lot of cool fucking stuff happen. You've been studying how to make sure you're doing your very best in engineering lately. It's pretty sick, right?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying all the recording.
Nice.
I was a little late to the game, late to the party, and like becoming an engineer, but
I mean,
every
dude, I
timeline is
feel like
different.
yeah, I mean I feel like that whole sentiment of like being late to the party is something I've had to just like accept that it's different. Everybody's got a different path, and everybody like gets to certain things in their lives at different points. Um, like so, I wouldn't even like harp on that. I feel like I used to do that a lot. I'm like I was consistently like putting myself down for like not having discovered something that everybody else knew of at the time or like yeah just being oblivious like it was just feeling like living under a rock, but it just didn't cross my path before other people let me in on it, and then I just felt like well fuck, I mean if it's good I'm gonna get into it eventually. Let's see if I can ditch this. That's a little better, I guess. Blown out. But yeah, man. So like late to the game, like we all just find our own ways, and what's really important is when you are doing something that you're passionate about and you're learning, like the rewarding aspect of that is like really what's important. You know what I mean? Like not how long it took you to get to it. So
Totally.
yeah, like we can pop up some pictures of your tattoo work. We also have videos, so anybody that's interested in seeing his work, you will be seeing his work. He was gracious enough to send me a lot of awesome pictures and videos, and we'll try to get through a lot of them. But I also don't want to I just want to make sure that you know that like we might not get to all of them. Like I'm just um, but yeah, man. So yeah, like talk to us about like how you got started with tattooing.
So I consider myself super fortunate because it's tough to get into, and I met you right around the time that I was entertaining, like kind of like taking this leap.
Yeah.
And I guess that I more and more life just feels like the leap is unfolding in a
Hell yeah.
cool way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean that rules. Yeah, like so a little background about Evan and I, like we were we met like at some party and discovered that both of us were interested in the same kind of heavy music or like looking to pursue something with like kind of the same heavy music, and so we ended up getting together and jamming a bit, and things just really fucking clicked. So we started this band, and we called it something ridiculous that no one could ever pronounce. Called Sagicacia, and it was like it was just me and him fucking beasting a two piece, and Evan's incredible guitar work. He had bass and guitar going at the same time, and it was super powerful stuff. And I still to this day I feel very privileged to have been a part of your musical endeavors, because I just love your guitar work. And he transfers that same passion and that same devotion that he has in playing guitar to the tattoo work that he's been doing over the past few years. I've seen him grow and fucking blossom into this gnarly psychedelic artist, and like he just has his very own unique style where it's pulling from like a traditional sense, but it's also applying his interests and ideas into a realm that he's just kind of been building. And it's really cool to see just what you concoct and what you create with all of the things that are just in your brain or like you're influenced by. And I guess I want to touch on that. But yeah, so it's been like 11 years I think that we've been friends, and I mean, like, I'm super stoked. At the time, we were playing music, and then he eventually, after, I mean, I don't need to speak for you. I'm saying, like, I know that from Living Out Loud, which is where you started, you went from there to, like, from an apprenticeship to body graphics in Philadelphia, correct?
Yeah, I worked at Body Graphics on South Street,
Hell yeah.
and then I made the move took the leap to the next leap, and now I'm at Floating World.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Floating World is really sick. I had the privilege of going there to get some work done by him as well, and we could pull that up at some point too. Let's see. Maybe we can do that first, and then we can talk about whatever you'd like to after that. But yeah,
cool, man.
man, it's been really cool to just see your progression and your style just become like um you've been just showing all of the potential that I've seen in you over the years, just like through all of this hard work, and I'm super fucking proud of you, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Oh yeah. So let's pop this on the screen real quick. Let me see. I'll share this. We'll go to the window with the videos, um and then I'm going to scroll to find the correct one with my cover up. Um, and then we can move to another one. Let me see here.
Cool.
Oh, maybe I did. Yeah. If anyone's on here and wants to ask questions while I'm getting this set up, please feel free. If not, no worries. We're just chilling. It's very lax. You know what I mean? Like there's no pressure. And Evan, if you wanted to talk about something while I'm pulling this up, please, by all means. Let me just get this.
Cool.
All right. Well, let me see if I can just. Okay, here we go. So. This is not the one, but we can talk about this while I try and get the other one up. Yeah, you want to
Cool.
talk about this a little bit more?
Sure. Yeah, this is my newest painting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I called it "Becoming Nobody" after I think it was a term coined by Ram Dass.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, kind of just like I guess like the realizing
Mm.
that we're all like one thing or one consciousness. It's kind of trying
Hell
to
yeah.
embody that.
Nice. Does this have anything to tie in from was Ramdas the one that did Be Here Now that you showed me all that time ago?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, the philosophy behind um uh that sentiment is something that I feel like speaks to your character pretty much from the get-go. Like I've always kind of like felt like you're of the mind that um as far as consciousness is concerned, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but this makes total sense. I'm trying to think of the words, but like this is such a beautiful piece. Let me see if I can pull up the actual image so it's not just a video because
Sure.
this didn't give me what I wanted. And this is a bit of a learning curve for me still with this program, but okay, let's do that. So yeah, let's talk about it. The so it looks like there's some mechanical aspects of this, um, and then there's also some organic aspects of this.
Yeah. So kind of been in like thinking a lot about how the things that mankind like creates
Yeah.
kind of like inform us of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I was using that for the facade of the Reaper's face.
Nice.
And then also like removing the invention to
Mm-hmm.
reveal the most ancient thing of all.
Nice. I mean, that's really cool. I especially love that the eyeball in the center is also a planet, and it's kind of and then you have like wow, that's fucking cool. I just noticed the mountains. That's really awesome. And then like the detachment from that mechanical that facade, that face of like a like almost like a manufactured existence or something. I guess that's kind of what I pull from it. Like the wires that are kind of detached there. Um, it's really fucking cool. I really enjoy that.
Thank
We
you
could
so much.
probably just yeah, absolutely. We could just scroll through. Oh, let's talk about the medium real quick. So, what are you using to paint these things?
Cool. So I love Dr. Martin's
Yeah.
Hydrus watercolors.
Hmm.
They're like maybe the closest thing you can get to a liquid acrylic.
Nice.
And I also use those as well.
Hmm.
But I like the way that the Hydrus, you can get like so loose with it, like with the blending.
Hmm.
And like how you can dilute a liquid acrylic too. But
Right.
yeah, both of them are just so great. And I use Sharpie for all my black and dynamic tattoo ink for all my blends.
Cool.
So I'm putting it in my body too.
Sick. Right on. Well, so yeah, so we're gonna go through some of the fine art stuff, and then we can go through the tattoo, the actual the ink on the skin, and how that translates. This piece is so fucking gorgeous, and it's hauntingly. I mean, like I think I use this a lot, but hauntingly beautiful is one of my favorite ways of explaining some art that I'm drawn to, and this is no exception. This is the one that I featured on the announcement. And I mean, like, I'll just say what I like about it, and then if you want to talk about it, however you'd like, no pressure. I feel like, I mean, there's so much going on here. I feel like there's obviously like some suggestion of a skull. I see some like teeth like elements and that's really really sick. I feel like there's a reaper robe like hood around it, which I feel like you always nail, and I think it's really cool, like how creative you get with that idea. And then these hooded spirit like figures that are just surrounding the central um, image of that is really awesome. It kind of reminds me of another realm where, you know, like it looks like those are kind of windows, and then like there might be like flames coming from out of them, and it almost reminds me of like a depiction of like some sort of hell. um but it's like it's very colorful and psychedelic, so it could be like a vision that you're seeing, and it might not be as like negative as like feeling thrust into like some sort of hell amongst a like a god or like some sort of entity. But is there anything that you want to speak on about this? Because it's such a powerful piece. It's fucking awesome.
Dude, thanks so much, man. This one, if you can't tell, it was definitely altered consciousness inspired.
Nice.
I'm sure you could tell, but for those watching,
Hmm.
and I guess I was going for like sort of like layers, or maybe even like a trinity of the self, as it relates to the spirit realm.
Nice.
Maybe like well, let's just call them like beings, as you
Hmm.
can see in the foreground,
Yes.
and then like the ego is the reaper, and then
Wow.
beyond the ego, like the godhead or whatever, what have you, element of the persona or ether.
Yeah. I mean, that's super fucking cool. I mean, like, I feel like now I'm looking at it further, and the black and white element in between the green and yellows. I can see like it kind of reminds me of a rib cage, and I love how like nothing's like for sure. Like it's a surreal piece. That's your thing, and I really love that because I feel like it obviously it could be open to interpretation, but it's always interesting to hear the artist's idea behind their pieces like that, and it's really cool. Um, let's I want to move on and like show some of your fucking tattoo work because it's just been incredible lately.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. This sharing screen thing has just been a real fun experience here. So let me just pop this on again, share. All right, so let's see. I think I should be able to um okay, yeah, let's talk about this one. So we've got um like a rib cage, and there's like a double helix kind of going into a like a void, a spiral void, and some like a planetary uh presence. That's pretty sick. Who got this done on them?
Uh, this was this was a client named Abby,
Nice.
and she was super fun to interact with and sat immaculately.
Yeah.
Uh, I painted this on a flash sheet, and
Hmm.
she snatched it up like within an hour or two of me posting it,
That's awesome.
which is always makes me so grateful.
Yeah. I mean, I will say like I feel like your strengths are always shown with symmetry. Like I always like uh I'm always just so stoked to see like your elements of symmetry. It's never like it obviously it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I don't like looking at something like looks like it's just been mirrored. You know what I mean? But the symmetry is so prominent in your work, and it's like it's really cool like to see the way that you went about doing like a silhouette of a rib cage here is really cool. And like you know, obviously incorporating like the double helix as like what would be a spine um, is super sick. Um, and yeah, we can just move on, but because I want to show people like all of your work, and that's just one. It's just one. This one, this one's fucking awesome. You want to talk about this for a second?
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah, so this, I was lucky enough to do this chrysanthemum cheetah. It was actually a really great client named Cameron
Hmm.
who saw they saw another one that I painted, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back for this definitely." And I was
Oh, hell
like,
yeah.
"I can't wait."
Nice.
I ended up doing that one at the Chicago convention,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't think I included it in this slide, but Cameron said, "Well, make me a brand new one," so I did, and that's this one. This is kind of where I'm headed. The they you know um, morphing elements of nature to, like you said, suggest a surreal aspect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm huge fan of like culmination of different organic elements coming together, like amalgamations in nature and like mutations and hybridizations and things like that are always just fascinating. So that's really cool. I think it's super clever. Um, how you know took the petals of the flowers and integrated it into the face of the cheetah like that. It's fucking cool. And I know, and like I always just like I feel like like there's always gonna be like artists do this kind of stuff where they like mash up different elements of things. Um, but your bold line work and your color choices are uniquely you, and I think it's really sick, dude. Yeah.
Thanks so much, man.
I couldn't do it. There's no like I just like yeah, I don't see the world in art through your lens like that. So it's always cool to talk to people about they see their shit in their lens, you know?
Yeah, our lenses are so interesting, so unique.
Yeah. All right. So this is a like this is a real mashup here. This is the Philly Fanatic as the creature from the Black Lagoon with a Santa hat. Fantastic. What
Thanks,
the
dude.
fuck? Oh man. I mean, did I nail it? Like,
Nailed it.
yeah, right
This
on.
was for spooky design for October month,
Word.
and I did a charity donation to Art Reach Philly and Rock
Okay.
to the Future.
Nice.
So this was one of the ones, and I think it was one of the most, dare I say, most popular of my
Okay.
design. So that's always flattering.
Nice. I like this is a real good way of showcasing your use of highlight and using the void of color. The void, well, haha. Eh, the the void of color or ink. It's you're utilizing the negative space, the skin tone as a way to suggest the highlights, and it's fucking smart. And I feel like I see it in tattoo work all the time, but it's always cool to see just how it's applied to like make to get that effect.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Just gonna keep scrolling through here, so we're just gonna watch videos. Yeah,
Cool.
this is rad. So this is like a it's it kind of, it reminds me of like obviously I think it would be considered a tribal piece. I feel like there's like some knot work in there, like Celtic knot. That's pretty cool integration that you got going on there.
Thanks, man. This was one of my favorites of the last year, definitely. It was made based on, and I love the ones that have a mythology. This one is the Hound of Coulon. I believe I know it's Celtic. I think it's Irish. It might be Scottish, but
Okay.
just kind of like took this mythological entity and then, in infusing the classic style of a crawling panther with
Yeah.
that
That is
I
super cool, dude. I mean, like, I feel like you
thanks.
nailed that. Like, you did that really well. Um, and yeah, like I came across a book somewhere. I can't remember where I was. Uh, and it was like a very ornate. There was like gold rimmed pages, and it was all about myth in like folklore and myth in Irish and I think Scottish culture. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was pretty cool to like look through it and see all these gnarly names. Oh, okay, I remember where I was. I was actually at this place called the Animal Farm recording, and in the place that we were, it was actually like really fucking like nice. Like where we stayed to record was like this basically like an Airbnb, and it had a full like pretty much a full kitchen, um, and a living room, and like all these books on the shelves. And one of those books was the myth and folklore book that had all sorts of names I could not for the fucking life of me pronounce, but
Cool.
super
I'm gonna
cool.
Google that one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll have to get you the name first. I'll
Yeah.
have to figure that out. Ask John, who was our engineer there. But yeah,
Where
it
was
was
Animal Farm?
the Animal Farm is somewhere in New Jersey. I can't remember. It's North Jersey, like going toward. I think no, it's Flemington, New Jersey.
Oh, cool.
It's a. I mean, he does an incredible job. Very stoked on the production. And it's like a gutted barn, and like in the top like flight of the barn is all the recording studio. I gotta show it to you. It's fucking sick.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
yeah, and he lets you use like any of the gear he has, and the gear he has is like what the fuck? Like it's incredible. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I was able to use a brass snare that was like clearly like 30 pounds, and it sounded incredible. Like just that crack, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right, we can keep going here. So here's the video of my cover up that you did on me. And I think at the end it shows, or maybe the next video, it shows the before and then into the after. But as you can see, like I mean, like the choices that you made. Here we go. Here's the before, and then the process to get it to where it went. I'm super stoked on how that came out, and I really do appreciate you taking on that project because it must not be easy to do cover ups.
Well, thankfully, it's becoming easier and easier.
Nice.
But thanks for trusting me on this one.
Yeah,
Um,
dude.
Complete erasure of the old one. Like it's like where you can't even tell at all. It's
Yeah.
fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, dude, yeah, it's super satisfying to see just the transformation that went from this silly shit that I got when I was like uh 17, 18, I can't remember, 18 or 19, um to this like fucking. And okay, so yeah, why don't we talk about what you did here? So you started show like to explain like what this picture is.
Okay, so the way I do cover ups, especially when they're involved and heavy on the black, and
Mhm.
especially like it's pretty big too to begin with. So what I like to do is mimicking the effect of a laser lightning session. I'll apply white, just white,
Mhm.
to reduce the contrast, and then let that heal, and then I'll repeat the process. So do it at least twice for a cover up this dark.
Right.
And then we have something much closer to skin tone, which gives us all an infinite amount more freedom. to work with.
Right on. And yeah, and then from there, you're just like fucking hitting me with that solid black. You want to talk about that for a second?
Totally. These kind of graphic shapes like this, kind of. I think to me, I really noticed it first in Ed Hardy's work.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
what everything he was doing in like the 70s and early 80s, like fusing these styles of new tribalism, American
Mhm.
tattooing, and when he went to Japan, it was like fucking game over, dude. He was just like you said earlier, just fusing it all and fucking so rock and roll about it, no rules.
Yeah,
And so like the heavy black parts like this create so much motion and excitement, and put color next to that, leave skin tone where skin tone belongs, and fucking you got a nice tattoo.
nice. So there's the next part of the process where what you just mentioned, putting in the color and leaving the skin tone where it needs to, be left alone, which is a huge aspect of making art in general. When you are looking to have value and shading and representation of darks and lights, it's super important to make sure that you are not overdoing it in certain spots, because from a distance you want it to translate well. You want it to like come off as, okay, this is where the highlights are, this is where the solid black is, or whatever. um but yeah, back to the actual tattoo work, it's like, you know utilizing that skin tone. And well, I mean, I guess it depends on the color of like the tone of your skin. However, I think that's, I mean, obviously it's part of the fucking job. You gotta kind of figure out what works best for your canvas, right?
Totally. It took me quite a while, and I won't be ashamed to say that it
Hmm.
took me a while when I was learning to tattoo, that and I had a great apprenticeship,
Hmm.
um, where I was taught the golden rule of leaving every color tattoo one third skin tone,
Oh, word.
one third color, and one third black. I was taught that from very day one. So
Okay.
grateful for that.
Nice.
But it took me the better part of those first 5 years to realize what was actually meant by the
Right.
skin tone,
Right.
because the skin tone is what makes the image. And
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't realize that until I started like literally squinting at my shit from fucking 12 feet across the room and being
Oh
like,
shit. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, because when you reduce reduce the simplicity by squinting at it, like
Yes.
it makes so much more sense.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like, I mean, I've always kind of struggled with this where like I just want to fill in every fucking thing on the paper. I'm like, oh, that's too white. Yeah, let's add some filthy, terrible fucking dots to this. There's some crazy lines there. And then I'm like, oh, I made it muddy. Ah, fuck, I did it again. But I've gotten better at like understanding the importance of negative space. Yeah.
I think you crush it at that, dude, because a lot of what you do is kind of a binary value, right?
Right.
Black
I mean,
and
like
white.
sometimes it's reduction, and sometimes it's like I have to just be like, I have to be cognizant of it translating well on like garments and, like especially like garments, but CD covers, you don't have to worry so much. But when you're putting like an image on, having someone screen printed onto a t-shirt, you have to ask the questions to the clients. What kind of shirt are you trying to get this printed on? Is it going to be a dark garment, or is it a light garment, or and usually what I'll do is try to like give them the option for both. um like sometimes I'll be able, you can like successfully invert it and it still looks cool, like after giving it to them with black on white. But, like really, if you're doing your job like thoroughly, you should probably account for the opposite of that so that it still translate as dark on light, but then it's also being printed on a dark garment, you know? So yeah. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
over time, you know what I mean? Like with anything in our lives, over time, the experience we gain and the time we put into it and the efforts that we put into it, we learn, you know, we understand, things start to click, just like what you were talking about, where using a third of the skin tone is like, you know, like absolutely a golden rule. So yeah, I mean, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, and again, like really love how this came out. Super psychedelic, exactly what I expected from you. You know what I mean?
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like it's super cool. um so we can move on, and we'll, yeah, and there's a picture side by side, and there's some other pictures where, dare I say, you made me look very flatteringly thinner than I am. uh Dude, this is rad. This tiger, like the movement of these stripes, you know, like obviously, like you're not going to see this in nature. This is like, there are like uniquely you elements to this, like these swirls, these like clever little elements of your like specific style is just so fucking, it's subtle, it's super smart, and I think it's really fucking successful.
Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
This was actually her first tattoo, and she was super cool. I did the whole thing with the tight three, which is um, not how I learned, but I've been doing more and more with tight groupings
Okay.
because I see how they age,
Yeah.
and sometimes the size of the tattoo just like demands something finer. So
Sure.
having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, yeah. So wait, question for you, because I'm a fucking, I don't even know. I've always wanted to learn how to tattoo, but I feel like at this point in my life it would be a huge undertaking. But I am curious to understand the liner parts, the like the actual like shaders and liners, and like you know, like the kinds of tools, and why they're being applied when. So my question is, you said a tight three. Can you explain to people what that is?
Sure, a lot of people think that like most fine line or what have you, kind of delicate looking tattoos are all done with a single needle. This is largely a myth. Certainly, there's people who use an actual one needle soldered to a needle bar, such
Wow.
as maybe the most famous example would be Jack Rudy,
Okay.
who still tattoos, fucking legend.
Nice.
Uh, so yeah, a tight three is then like three of those um,
Shit. My bad. Continue. Sorry.
tapered together on a needle jig and then welded to that same needle bar. So it just like, traditional tattooing is kind of like 7 through 14 liners, like so 7 needles in a grouping.
Okay.
And yeah, more the fine line stuff is kind of more like 1 through 5, I guess.
Okay. So I mean, I could definitely see the finer lines, like where the face is of the tiger, and like the paws. But then what are you using for the bolder stripes? Not the ones that are like subtle. And is that considered whip shading, or is that not the right term?
Yeah, so I did like if you zoom in, I don't know how close you can get, but
Yeah, I tried to go as close as possible before the video changed. This is as
I
close as we can get. Also,
That's okay.
encouraging people to make it full screen so you can really understand what's going on here.
Yeah, so I there's actually two different grays in
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
as those are whip shaded with an 8 round shader, and those are both Luna pigments, which is completely powder based pigment from Texas. Us love their stuff. I use
nice.
them and raw power. Uh, our supply, pretty much exclusively at this point. And the
Cool.
larger black areas are either me taking that 3 and then outlining that area and then coloring it in with the 3. That's most likely what I did. Or
Oh,
you could color it in with that 8 round shader as well.
I see. Okay, so this wasn't because like to me when I look at that, I'm like, oh yeah, like if that was done with a brush, you know what I mean? If that was done in ink on paper, that would be done with a brush, like a round brush, and like the varying weight in the movement like totally looks like a brush. But what you did was kind of emulate what a brush would look like by doing the line work and then filling in that line with like, yeah, that's fucking cool. I mean, I feel like I do that like with logos sometimes, but yeah, it's fascinating because at first, yeah, I would think like, oh, you've just got like a flat liner that's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's no worries.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess like yeah, in my mind, I'm thinking of like the equivalent of like a chiseled tip of something or whatever. Like for tattoos, as far as that goes, like just a flat row of needles, and then you're just varying. But obviously, that's you ain't doing calligraphy, son. I don't know. I'm just
Well, no,
saying.
that there is a shader like that. It's called a mag, and
Oh yeah, I've heard that term.
I happen to like not use that in this particular tattoo because I kind of prefer mags when they're like 13 plus.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of other stuff I can just accomplish with a 8 or 11 round shader, but a mag is like, so you have 4 like this,
Uh-huh.
and then you have 3 like this,
That
and
go
it's
in
like
between.
in between and above it. So
Wow.
yeah, you're not wrong about there being a different configuration.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I figured there would be, but I guess I just yeah, I'm learning. Okay, so mag,
Yeah,
got it. That's
yeah.
sick. All right, so here's another really cool one. I don't know why, but like, okay, so I'm seeing like a maze in the abdomen back here, which is really cool. And then is this a predator reference?
My subconscious might have made it that way,
Nice.
and I guess that's totally fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Um,
just curious.
he just wanted like a mech spider, like a mechanical,
Got you. So it's kind of like
and
a microchip.
yes,
Sick. Got it. I like it. I like
thanks,
the
dude.
yeah, absolutely. I like how you didn't feel the need to get too detailed or like too intricate with the webbing underneath. Because you wanted to obviously like stress the line work and the weight of the spider itself. Like that's like it's just like it's providing an atmosphere. It's providing like a world for the spider to exist, but it's not taking away from what you want people to focus on.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Yeah, the I guess like the this is a great one to squint at because if you do, like all you see is the spider. Like your eye just goes right to it.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. That's exactly how I'm feeling. Like that's what you wanted, and I think you accomplished that.
Thanks.
Fuck yeah. So let's. At first, I like when I first saw this, I just immediately thought of Through Silver and Blood, and I'm
Cool.
wondering if that has any like correlation or if it just has that kind of feel.
That might have been the subconscious as well.
Right.
Um, I've that's become a big theme for me. It's kind of like the a big growing awareness of
Yeah.
the subconscious. But this one was so much fun. He wanted a Lilith half sleeve.
Got you.
So yeah, we did the snake and the apple and the whole
Yeah. So
her
let's continue.
likeness and everything.
It's really fucking striking. I think it's so yeah, I'm constantly in love with these lines that you like incorporate into your work that are just these blacks that just kind of have like a tendril quality to them, suggesting movement, suggesting um that world that you are like consistent with in your work. It's just so cool to see how like consistent the style is in your work. I can always tell when I'm looking at an Evan Void piece.
Thank you so much, man.
Oh yeah. I think it was smart to do the eyes yellow and then continue the uh, the yellow throughout in different parts of the composition. I always love the uniformity of that kind of thing. And the blue is nice. It's like it's not too dark. It's like it suggests the shadow and the highlight really well. I think it was really well done, dude.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah. So how long did this take?
This one was actually only 3 sessions.
Nice.
Did outline and then most of the background and
Mhm.
the black and then the color.
Nice. I feel like I'm seeing some Muka in this because like the absence of the the color, but then it's also outlined, which is cool.
Yeah, his shit is like so striking.
Absolutely. I mean, talk about use of negative space. It's like
Yeah,
incredible. Um, but yeah, this is really cool.
thanks,
And I
man.
like how this piece is so sick. Yeah, I want to talk about this because this is like a mechanical fucking futuristic Anubis, and I think it's just super smart how you went about it.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, really fucking cool.
I was so fortunate to have this client pick this one. I feel like that's why I never stopped like making new designs because like people keep getting them, and I'm just like, that was
What the fuck is
instilled in
wrong
me.
with
That was instilled in me in my apprenticeship, and I'm so grateful for that.
you?
Just
Yeah,
like,
dude.
you must always be creating something.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it is hard sometimes when you get stuck in that like that trench of like comparing yourself to others, and I feel like all artists get to this point where they're like discouraged, but the important thing is to like not let it take you away from what you're passionate about. Like remember what the reason is that you're doing it in the first place, right? And then just continue to push past it by just making shit, even if it looks like garbage. Like then that's like a purge. You know what I mean?
totally.
It's like a way of getting past the fodder. You know what I mean? Like getting to the real good shit sometimes takes sifting through the not so great shit. But you can't get to that if you're not continuing to make. You know what I mean? Um, and like I have to say the other thing that I like I'm just so impressed with and always just so I always just find so awesome about your work is just how deliberate every single line is. Every single mark is well thought out and like there's no hesitation. You know what I mean? Like once you are committing to a line, you're committed to that line. You know what I mean? Like you are in it for that whole like stroke. I can see that in all of your work. And I like for me, like I might be making a line and go, okay, well, I gotta continue to make this line with another mark. You know what I mean? Like where like I feel like and this I feel like kind of translates to a lot of tattooing, especially in like a traditional style, like flash and things like that, where you have to be very deliberate with your line making. You can't just because you have to think of it in a sense that this is going into someone's skin. You know what I mean? This is like you can't show hesitation while you're making this forever line in their body.
Yeah, the permanence of it really, it quite profoundly influenced me and continues to.
Yeah.
Uh, Not only in the way that I approach design,
Yeah.
but also carrying into the rest of my life the importance of conviction and being deliberate in what you're doing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I always see that in your true spirit. Every time I'm around you, every time I'm able to witness just who you are as a person, that I'm reminded of that about you. In like in all of the aspects of who you are as a person, and that's why I fucking love you.
Thanks so much, man. Love you
Yeah,
too, bro.
absolutely. Like that's like an unwavering adoration that I have because it's just something that's so prominent in like who you are. Like and I feel like anyone could ask like or anyone would say the same thing like when you're committed to something, you are all in, and when you are saying something, it's well thought out, and when you're making art, it's well thought out and done fucking beautifully because you've really committed to it. So
Thanks, dude.
have to fucking say that because this is just like god damn. It pops right where it needs to. The line work is like showing like the decision that you made to make the one part of this like what's considerably part of the neck in this Anubis with these bolder lines that like these they're almost like rib cage esque, but obviously like they're just meant to suggest the form. The fact that you made the decision to go bold with that line work right there is really smart to like really like emphasize that part. And then you can see that if I'm guessing correctly, maybe it's a 3 round on the smaller line work. That's considerably the same idea of form, like in the front of the neck. Holy shit! I'm just seeing this now. That's a fucking upside down coffin, isn't it?
You know it, dude.
Fuck yes! So sick. Oh, that's sick. Oh, I love that. I love how you integrate like images of death and like and coffins in your work. It's like a trademark thing, like skulls and coffins and reapers and fuck yeah, dude. So cool.
Thanks, man. It's more and more to me the all of the death imagery has just become to mean rebirth. Like
Yeah,
I'm always gonna keep leaning into the evil side of how things look, but maybe to me it has I don't know, like a more lightheartedness than
sure.
before or
I
something.
feel
I don't
like
know.
I feel like I've always kind of seen that though. Like in knowing you and seeing your art, I've always looked at it as if like, yeah, it's touching on death, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative or a darkness to it. It's like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like I don't, I mean, like maybe lately it's become like really evident. You know what I mean? But evident. Oh, you knew there were gonna be puns in this baby.
Yeah, that's a good
If
one.
we weren't fucking riffing on this, I'd be extremely disappointed. So just takes a minute, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, like just to see like that consistency in your work and like that stuff come through in that sense is always just so it just totally makes sense. Um,
thanks, man.
hell yeah. So this is also really smart. Oops. Um, again with Reaper, and then you've got like a tribal aspect to these images that you're making, but like making them your own. Like I've become like increasingly more interested, fascinated, and fucking stoked about tribal as I see people get more creative with it over time. Like I used to roll my fucking eyes at tribal tattoos, you know what I mean? Because they were all just so generic and corny and just like they always came off like, you know, like if I see someone with tribal, it's like really neat. You know what I mean? Like cool, dude. You know, you like you pick that out in like 20, you know, in 5 minutes after like walking into a studio and like I think that's pretty badass, you know, like I don't know. It's it the I always kind of equated it to like like not being like an original or creative person, you know what I mean? Like kind of just like, well, what he has, but like, you know what I mean? Or yeah, like I feel like you know in the '90s you saw a lot of like fucking tribal tramp stamps and shit like that, you know. So to see the evolution of like what people have done to push tribal artwork, like you know, basically, I guess what tribal would be like, I guess to me, is like just bold black line in shapes, right?
Yeah, I would say even the word like graphic is a pretty
Totally.
equal
Yeah.
kind of meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like,
but
I like. Do you agree that you would consider it like pulling from that tribal, like, yeah, like,
definitely. I can't really like pinpoint like a I guess besides Ed Hardy, back to him again. Like uh when I saw what he was doing with tribal, I was like, I gotta get in on this, dude,
okay, yeah, yeah,
because the shapes are just like, what the fuck, man?
yeah,
You
yeah.
like the shapes are just everything.
It's you know, I think like I feel like it's hard to like for me when I was getting to know what tattoos were, I got in on a time where like things started to get exacerbated in the corniest of senses. You know what I mean? Like after the art of tattooing was like established and people were just like doing things and like putting out like Ed Hardy t-shirt like it was just like it would have like kind of a kind of like something that I just was completely turned off from, you know what I mean? And like you know, obviously before, you know, earlier tattoo artists like the the pioneers before that, there were actual tribes tattooing on flesh. You know what I mean? And that's where it like originated from, which was probably super fucking sick. But then like I think like over time it just became like this it just it developed like this I don't know, this whole like a vibe that I just wasn't into, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's cool to see, like I said, like the evolution of like what people are doing with tribal, um, if that makes sense.
Totally, man.
Is there orange in? Is it's just red? Kind of going against the black line work in this like skirt kind of thing.
Yeah, so I did a Texas red there, and I did do a gold as well. I knew it was going to be subtle because of the canvas, but he was
Right.
completely trusting, and he I saw it healed already. He loved it. He's going to come back
Nice.
again, I think too.
Nice. I did think I thought I saw some yellow, but I wasn't sure. So okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Dude, this one. This is newer, right?
This is a little newer. Actually, just for anyone watching, go to my Instagram. I just posted a brand new sheet today that was two designs inspired by this nature, call it plant and animal fusion. I have a brand new
Absolutely.
sheet up for your viewing pleasure.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, thank you for saying that about this.
Yeah, dude. This piece is another one of those really visually striking color choice, fucking really smart. Um, line work, variation, really cool. I'm just putting this in the chat. Um, yeah, like smart ideas with where to be bold, where to be like thinner line work. Um, yeah, it totally came off the way that you just explained it, like where it's a hybrid, it's a hybridization of a leaf and a bug, a praying mantis, obviously.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And like your style rings in where like there's curves instead of angular parts, and there's, you know, simplistic lines to suggest um different aspects of the creature. And then yeah, the colors are just like I think it's so cool that you decided to do greens like right up against some orange in like the leaves, and like you decided to do nothing in the eyes but then still have one side of it be bold line and the other eye be thin. It's just so cool to like see, like, because I like see the decisions you're making in every piece. It's really cool.
Thank you so much, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you for supplying these videos too. This is really cool to be able to like see it in different see it in 3D, you know what I mean? See it in a different perspectives. And
Thanks, dude.
this is like a really intricate half sleeve here you got going on. You want to
Yeah,
talk about
amazing
that?
client. Um, Ariel tattooed her. I think this was 4 sessions,
Okay.
and then I did a large cover up on her behind her ear, like really on her head as well, like right after this.
Wow.
So she wanted a siren, like
Yeah.
from the Greek mythology, kind of
Nice.
like a morbid mermaid of sorts.
Hell yeah. I like that.
And so I left it heavy on the skin tone because you can back way up from that shit. It's so evident, like exactly what it is, and
Nice.
decided to lean into the colors of the sky,
Yeah.
kind of make those continuous.
Yeah, so I will say, like, again, with how visually striking, I need to comment on the decisions you made with the sky. Um, just so much movement and so like smart with the like how it swirls around. It's like psychedelic, but it's still like still well within the realm of what's going on in the um in the foreground. It's really really cool.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, more and more I've noticed that well, I guess it's really like after learning the fundamentals, I
Mhm.
executing the tattoo, I quickly started to like really hone in on like the composing aspect,
Yeah,
and like having technology on your side is just it's insane like what we can do now with
for sure.
planning it.
Yeah,
Oh my god, dude.
yeah. Shout out to Procreate.
Shout out to Procreate. Holy shit.
Real. And and thank you so much for like helping me understand the potential in iPads and Procreate, like giving me the extra nudge to get it, because like I mean for a while I was like, yeah, I totally see how this could help me, and like I just didn't have the scratch to get it together or whatever, but then being able to like try it out on yours and a few other friends, I was like, I got one of these, man. Just figure it out, you know.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely been very helpful in just sizing things, like figuring out scale, figuring out where things are gonna sit, changing different aspects of whatever elements you're putting in the piece, moving lines and moving, just you can do anything. And then, getting that set up and then being able to go back over it with like the final line, and it's great.
Yeah, it's
Tattooists,
insane.
are so much better for it, I'm sure. Like, it's got to be a game changer.
Such a game changer in the drafting process, and I've even been like, I quickly also then realized that, like we were talking about earlier, like our brains make the technology, which is a reflection of our brain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. What the
So
fuck is with that?
then I carried it right over into Reaper, and I'm like, I'm just doing the same thing with music engineering, also, like making all these
Yes.
layers. Like it's like the
Right.
same process is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I feel like when I'm making things, I'm consistently making black and white layers. Instead of erasing things, I'm using white to like correct where I want things to not be. And then on top of that, I'm doing a black. And then on top of that, I might do another white. And it's like, like I lose track of like having to be able to toggle between. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna make a new one. I'm
Yeah, just
like,
make a new one.
and then I've got a fucking stack of layers, and it's Procreate's like, you can't make anymore. You can't make it, and then I have to like squish them all together and start more. Sometimes I'll have to like duplicate the project so that I can go back to the ones, because I'm like neurotic about like losing the ability to go back to something I like, if I already have too many layers. So I'm like, okay, I'll duplicate what I have that has those many layers, and I'll go to another project and I'll squish them all down and start from scratch. Not scratch, but yeah.
Yeah,
but but yeah, it's awesome. So there he is in Floating World, and Mo's right there. That's a friend of ours who's also an excellent tattoo artist.
totally.
Yeah. This is what are you working on in this video here?
Um, doing I'm doing something tribal for sure. It was a raven. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
it made it into this clip, but anyone interested, it's definitely right on my Instagram.
Nice. I feel like I saw it. I feel like you know. Okay, here's a montage of some of the stuff. Let me make it so I can actually see what I'm doing. So you put a montage together of some things that we already looked at. Um, and Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool to see like a bunch of your different stuff in one video. And I think that's super smart to get that on social media. It's like it's a whole project in itself as an artist to have a presence on social media and all that. It's like
Totally, man.
part of the job anymore. There's one we haven't talked about. This is a phoenix. Definitely, I feel like it's not off off color to say that it's a tribal influence tattoo as well.
Yeah, all the shapes.
Yeah,
So
I think
much
it's
fun
really
on this
cool
one.
that yeah, like it's cool because I feel, is that a cover up or is that like deliberate black underneath, like smoky aspect?
So that's a deliberate opposing shape that I
Yeah,
did with a Luna Gray, that Texas company.
nice, sweet. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, like, it's smart. It reminds me of smoke that accompanies fire.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. From the ashes. It's an ash color, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I can see that deliberate um that idea executed really well.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah. let's see here. What else we got? Saw that one. And I think we went full circle. It was closer. Yeah. So we went full circle with the videos,
Cool.
and we can jump from that back to the fine art stuff. Is there anything you want to talk about? Because like we're, like the platform's open to talk about whatever you want, like art, music, whatever, man. Like we're just hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I always have new designs up. There's even more than those ones I talked about. I'm decided to do astrology designs,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think I gave you those.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you don't
Let
have
me
to
see if
pull
I can
them
find
up,
them.
but yeah.
Oh, I like that I can scroll through it so I'm not making everyone look at things that I'm not supposed to let you look at yet.
Okay, cool.
Thought I put it in here. Which one specifically?
So there
Well,
was
I mean, like, what can you describe it?
it was a vertical flash sheet of Sagittarius designs, and I just decided that I would
Yes.
I think I started with Scorpio, and I'm just gonna like make that'll be my first actual like line drawing book that I have for sale. So
Got it.
once the year is completed, then I'll have a line drawing book for sale.
Hell yeah. Let me get this pulled up. And then let me get rid of the sidebar. Sweet. Let's see if I
Cool.
can zoom in. Awesome. So yeah. Oops. So
I
there's
just
one
made a
with
color and a black and gray.
nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I really like the black and gray. The heart is really sick. That moon is super smart.
Thanks, dude.
It might be a hair pixely for those at home, but yeah, this is really cool. And I like how you suggested some movement with this like arrow, but it's not and like this is really cool where you like it's obviously used like this is a bow, but then you don't need to like just let people figure it out from there. You don't need to like overcomplicate it. You're not gonna make the moon with a fucking hand. You know what I mean? Like I just love that kind of thing where the decisions that you make, man, are just like they're just smart. Like this is really awesome. The flow of the hair, the movement that's suggested in this, and like all the curls, and then you've got aspects of like kind of showing this curvature of the cheekbone here. Yeah, I mean, like I could just go on about like all the smart, deliberate decisions you make in all of your work, dude. Like,
Thanks, man.
bet you know I was this smart.
So actually, one of the recent books I got done reading. Did you read Rick Rubin's book?
I did not.
It it really helped me to kind of like loosen up, like because we can all get constricted when we're uh just trying to do your best at something. It's
Sure.
easy to get constricted, but I just love his approach. It's called the creative process,
Yeah.
a way of being, the creative act, a way of being.
Okay. Got you.
So yeah, it was
I did.
great. You go.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Right on. I did hear about the book, and I actually listened to a podcast with what's his name, something Huberman or whatever. He's like a professor and a I don't know scholar of sorts.
Yeah,
Um,
I listened to a lot of his over the last
yeah,
year.
and he did he talked to Rick Rubin, and I listened to some of it. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but they were talking about his book, so I am familiar with the book, but I haven't read a book in a long time.
You know what? Up until about 6 months ago, I would have said the same thing, but like
For sure.
something, I don't know what it was, but something just like told me to pick books up again and read a bunch of them since then.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I would like that voice to come to me soon too. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe that's the voice is you right now telling me. But yeah, like, I mean, like, I feel like the book that I've been getting through is the death metal book from Decibel. Um, very, very slowly, because I've been trying to like really understand it and like commit to memory, and it is not easy for me to, this, like, for me to like retain things, especially from reading them. I have to read them like a lot and probably reread them again in another session. Um, with the way that my brain chemistry just likes to be completely unpredictable. But like, it is fascinating. It takes time. And then I also just get really tired every time I crack a book open. So it's just like not easy for me to stay in it. But I have aspirations to read more within the rest of my lifetime. I just don't know. I think maybe like 7 books before I die will be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7. I think that's a good goal.
You
And
can
we're
even do
talking
like
like
books
big
on tape.
ass text, fucking jitterbug shit, some children's books, just like the layman's the super dumbed down versions of all the books that are like I want someone to do that. Like, I'm not talking about this for dummies. I'm talking about like make it obnoxious how stupid and simplified things are about like the most scholarly books. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the color choices in this, to get back to this new flash sheet, um, is really cool. I like this treatment of the suggestion of fire. Um, and dude, it's just so cool. You didn't even need to add like the full aspect of this Taurus. It's like you get what's going on. You see that there is a person pulling a bow and holding it and ready to shoot an arrow, but there are no hands. There are no, like, you can see, like, you suggested an elbow and even highlighted it by making it brighter colors. Like, super fucking smart. Just like, I wish I had that. Like, I wish I had that sense about me that's like, well, how do I want to make sure that this comes across this way?
Just keep squinting at your shit, dude.
Just
I'm serious.
put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Just keep squinting at your shit. I'm sure no one will take that in the wrong context.
You
Just,
know what really did it from another big influence on me was what you told me to check out the Frazetta Museum
oh hell yeah,
and seeing how he would just omit so many details and like your brain doesn't even care.
exactly.
Like it's
Yes,
so cool.
it is. Yeah, I like that you just said your brain doesn't even care. That's a good
Yeah.
way of putting it. Your brain doesn't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
Your brain's like, what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I already know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, moving on. We fucking get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so cool. Like, the conscious choices he made. Um, yeah, yeah. I guess that's a funny thing. It's like we're talking about subconscious, and we're talking about things that just happen to, like, kind of, just exist after the fact, and like, oh yeah, well, that came out like without really thinking about it. But then the other part is like, the funny thing is like, although you're seeing your subconscious like exist on a page, you're also using your consciousness to like make the right decisions to get those things across. So it's like
Totally.
it's kind of really interesting to see like both sides playing a part in your art.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I might have some other photos of tattoos that we didn't look at.
I believe we do. Oh, I think those are the ends. Okay, so we've got have the Philadelphia like how many times have you done the Philly Tattoo Arts Festival?
So I did about half a dozen conventions last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I've only done that was my first Philly actually.
Nice.
So it was great. Uh, Earlier in one of the videos, there was a what I call a winter coffin. It was like a skull inside of a coffin. Did it on
Yes.
this guy named Tyler at that convention. But I'll be doing this next one as well. Um, it's in January. It's such a great time to just walk around, and even if you're not getting tattooed, there's so much art for sale. Uh, Bring a
Yeah.
friend, bring your partner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're gonna have a bad time.
Nice. Dude, what's going on in this image? This is a convention, right?
Yeah, so this was Chicago. Amazing convention. Did this New Jersey shaped Super S on this dude, and got the dealer. I guess what they call like the dealer's choice award. The stencil booth picks
That's
one
sick.
uh, design at a convention, so it's kind of like best design, but it's really what they think is like the funniest design.
That's
So
awesome.
I was lucky enough to win it here.
I mean, dude, it makes total sense. Like, I remember seeing you do these super S's, like, and like all the variations of like what you could create with them, and like, I thought it was always so fucking clever and cool, and
Thanks, dude.
and then to see that it's been translated into a New Jersey silhouette or like a outline, it's just fucking genius, and it deserves to win. You fucking nailed it.
Thanks, and I have small framed prints of this for sale at South Street Art Mart. If anyone
Nice.
has some Christmas shopping to do, I can't recommend them highly enough.
Hell yeah. South
It's at
Street Art Mart.
South Street Art Mart at 4th and South. It's on 4th Street, uh, right near Milk Boy and Crash Boom Bang.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
All right. I'm putting those things in the chat for anyone that's interested
cool.
watching this later or whatever. Um yeah, I mean that's awesome. I think you totally deserved that award. That's rad. And
Thanks,
Chicago
man.
sounds like it was a blast.
It was.
Nice. So yeah, oh my god, this thing is so cool. Like I'm just imagining like taking mushrooms and then like being in some sort of like fucking Alice in Wonderland like realm and seeing like this wise regal owl just like dripping with majesty and just it's just super cool what you decided to do here. What was there direction from the person that got this tattooed to like have this, or was this a flash piece, or
There was a little bit of direction. I For those watching, please forgive me. I forget the artist name, but you might know who it is. There's an artist from the 70s who he did all these like cat paintings,
okay?
and unfortunately he had what I understand as schizophrenia or worsening separation with reality, but his paintings kept getting better as his condition became worse. And so this customer brought me this guy's art, and was like, make me an owl like this.
That's fucking
So
cool.
yeah, that was so much fun.
I feel like I can even see the cat in it too. Like after looking at it and hearing you say that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Like you pulled from this idea of this person that was painting cats and got that in there too. Like, and maybe that was another one of those subconscious things, but like I don't know, man. Like, yeah, if you really look at it, like you could see like suggestion of whiskers and the face, the shape of the like where the negative space is kind of forms a little bit of a cat look to it. And but that's cool. I don't know the artist that you're talking about, so don't feel bad. I have no idea.
Maybe I can look it up. You can put
But
it in the
you
chat.
said from the 70s.
Let me try and look it up. I guess
Was
the
it
owl.
was it like Art Nouveau or something like that? Say again.
The owl. Let's call him the cat of the sky.
I think you're cutting in and out.
Oh, how about now?
Okay, now you're good.
Okay. I was just saying we'll call the owl. He'll be the cat of the sky.
Sick.
I'm looking this
The
guy
cat
up
of this guy.
now. His name is Louis Wayne.
Okay.
Wain.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, that's cool though.
Definitely recommended viewing for those watching.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So check it out. Okay, let's talk about the skulls, dude, because you've got so many cool skulls. And if I can try and pull one up or pull more up than this one, I'm gonna do so. But yeah, talk about like well, I guess I'll just say this and then you can talk about them. But the way that you execute new ideas to exist within the shape and confines of a skull are so fucking cool to me. Like you won't see that in anyone else's rendition of a skull the way that you do, like the way that you make them look. It's so unique. I definitely need a skull from you. Like,
Oh hell yeah, dude! Everybody needs a skull.
yeah, everyone needs a fucking skull, but I need a void skull.
Cool.
Yeah. Where does the influence come from for these kinds of this treatment of skulls, or
So
just in
this was,
general?
um, I guess, in an attempt to represent. This was actually like to come to me by a really good client, Curtis, and he's a dentist. So he was like, okay, I really want a skull by you, but I want it with the extra teeth that like we are born with.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, I need to like delve into like the fibers of like the 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 bone, really,
Yeah.
and
That's
like make it
yeah.
look like something insane.
I mean, yeah, no, I think you did. I can see the teeth underlying like underneath the like the surface teeth. And then I think it's really interesting that that same texture and color are like scattered and tangled uh like further into the skull almost to suggest that that's where the teeth are growing from, which is so cool.
Yes.
Like the idea of like these long strands of enamel just like intertwining inside of our fucking skull cavities, and then they're like, well, we'll just come out here.
Yes.
We'll just pop out and exist. Kind of like mycelium, but you only see the fruiting body, you know what I mean, out on the surface of the earth. But all the mycelium underneath are like the entangled roots that like exist as the underground network to communicate to all the other life that is rooted into the ground.
Yeah, the plant internet.
The plant internet for
Yeah,
sure, dude.
we just copied that
Yeah,
from
fucking,
mushrooms.
we're so unoriginal.
Yeah.
And the mushrooms know, and they're fucking pissed. Enter Bloodsport. No, just kidding. So what is this? Because like there's a few things that come to mind. Like it looks like a cathedral or something from maybe like Lord of the Rings, where it's like Sauron or something. But then in the front, it looks like the Jekyll like head uh from you just watched it. Damn it. The Joker head in the front of that fucking 16 wheeler.
Oh,
Maximum
Maximum
Overload.
Overdrive.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive. It kind of reminds me of that.
For sure.
And then
So it's
maybe a little
actually
bit of Orgasmatron too. But yeah, what's this from? What is this?
this is the rendition of the In Flames album, The Jester Race.
Oh, okay.
And it's on really good client and buddy Dave of Hallucinogenic Bulb.
Okay, yeah.
He's gotten several really big tattoos from me, and they're usually music inspired. So this
Right.
was one of many fun ones.
Yeah.
Really just kind of like it stretched it like this to
Yeah.
complement the form and leaned into the separation of the sky because
Fucking awesome.
I feel like that really makes it.
Yeah,
The
and
sky.
the atrium, the pointed arch is it totally, obviously now that I'm seeing this and you said at the gates, you
In
can see
Flames.
In Flames, which is okay, never mind. Well, I guess there's some connection there, but my brain just short circuited.
Yeah, there's similarity in
Yeah,
style at
yeah,
least.
but but still. Yeah, Dave, he's a good dude, and I haven't seen him in a while, and I know that he's in need of some real help. He needs someone to donate a kidney. Have you heard about this?
I didn't hear it all.
Yeah,
That's oh
he's
my
in
god.
need of someone to help him with something pretty serious, and if anyone knows anyone who's willing to be a donor for a kidney, reach out to me and I'll get you in contact with Dave because he's a great dude. He's always full of love, and yeah, he's got really cool taste in music. I remember seeing him with an Amorphous Corellian Isthmus shirt the other day, and I was like, "That's fucking sick."
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I don't really listen to In Flames. I definitely don't know about the Jester race. But I see the Jester on the front of that fucking vehicle.
Yeah, I mean I think it could be likened to like Iron Maiden has a mascot, it's Eddie.
Oh yeah,
I think this is like their
that's
Eddie.
their
It's like
Eddie.
that face. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Shout out to Derek fucking Riggs, dude. Oh my god. I love his art so much, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking Eddie. Hell yeah. I'm going to see Iron Maiden.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 2024, they're coming around. So
Is
Steph
it here?
got us tickets. What's that?
Is it in Philly?
It's in, I believe, Reading.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to double check. I can't remember because there's another show that's coming around that I will not name. I will not mention. Yeah. I will mention that Judas Priest is coming around, uh, and that is that's in Reading. But without going into too much detail, I don't want to talk about it because it may or may not be something that I'm doing. And That was a bad idea. I should not have said that. Anyway, it's a surprise gift, and hoping it's so embedded in this video that the person that I got it for doesn't see this. But if it gets spoiled, it gets spoiled. Whatever. But either
Yeah.
way, yeah, fucking, yeah, you should come to Iron Maiden, dude. That's and like the tickets are astronomically expensive in any part where you would want to actually like be like anywhere in the middle or anywhere like I got we got like kind of nosebleed seats, but we figured out like an angle from the stage that we feel like would be a decent vantage point. It's just, man, these tickets are stupid expensive if you're trying to get like anywhere even close to the stage. Like I'm talking like hundreds of dollars for one ticket. It's ridiculous. But that's not. We were able to get some for like $80 a seat. So, and they're probably still on sale. So consider it. But
Cool.
it'd be a good time. Hell yeah, this piece was really well done. I mean, the sky again. The yellows and reds that or the gold and red is this Texas, are these Texas reds and
That
yellows?
that might be a Texas red.
That's a Texas red right there. Yeah. Yeah. Like the negative space again to suggest like where the clouds separate and stuff like that. It's so cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So this is like a portrait of someone essentially.
Yeah, so this is Luke Man.
Okay.
RIP. I
Okay.
tattooed a great client, Rob, who knew him,
Okay.
and he was incredibly talented
Hmm.
musician and performer, artist. So
Nice.
it was a really interesting opportunity for me to do a human likeness, and it's led to more.
That's
So
really cool, dude.
I'm looking forward to more projects like this.
Nice. I think it was executed really well. Kind of reminds me of the Notorious B.I.G. Um, there's like a, I feel like there's a design that I was commissioned for Brimming Horn to do like a Notorious B.I.G. piece, and it kind of reminds me of it. Um, but yeah, it's really cool to see what like the decisions you made for the face and like not connecting all of the dots for the beard was really smart. You know what I mean? Again, to like suggest the highlight of the beard, especially from far away. The teeth, you're not doing lines for all the teeth. You're just you're letting your brain fill in the blanks and be an artistic decision. Um, really cool, stylistic crown. It's cool, man.
Thanks, man.
So this is a picture of the Floating Worlds logo. So if you're ever in Philadelphia and you're interested in getting a tattoo from Evan, go to Floating World, because that's where you can find him.
Yeah, we're right at 18th and South in beautiful Rittenhouse neighborhood. It's great.
I'm gonna add this into the chat as well.
Yeah, it's 1729 South Street.
There you go. Sick. And again, just to remind anyone who's interested in getting tattooed by him and going to the Philadelphia tattoo convention, the Tattoo Arts Festival, I should say. It's January 26th through the 28th. Um, coming up in 2024, it's at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, and this is the 26th year that they're running. That's crazy. I still haven't fucking gone, dude.
Oh, come this year.
I have to. I like
Yeah, it's
it.
gonna
I'm
you're gonna
going
have
to
so much
make
fun.
it a point to come,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna visit you, and maybe I'll get a skull by you when I'm there.
yeah. Get a skull, bro. Let's do it up.
I want a skull on my butt cheek. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get a skull on my butt cheek, and then another skull on my butt cheek, and I'm gonna make them kiss.
Perfect.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, dude, that's so sick.
I also have gift cards for sale,
Nice.
and I'm doing a bonus where the next 7 people, because I did a run of 10, so the
Yeah.
first 10, I'm adding 50% more
Oh yeah, that's right. And
to
I
it.
saw this. I think that's pretty smart.
Thanks.
That's a really good deal. So you guys should
Yeah,
take
it's a great
advantage of
deal
that if you
and a
see
great gift.
this. Hell yeah, that would be rad. Um, yeah, so take advantage of that if you see this. And when is that eligible until?
Until those 7 more are gone, and then I will still have another 15 or so gift cards. They just won't have
Nice.
bonus added.
So this isn't like a special like limited time kind of like holiday sale, or is this just because it's coming up, you're offering this, but then it's still gonna roll over after?
It's for the holidays.
Okay.
I mean, I made it was about time I had gift cards, but I noticed that when I do a promotion, I always get something cool that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So
Nice.
I'm always down.
Right on. Let me
I don't know if I have any other more tattoo photos or not.
no, but we could go to your Instagram
Oh,
and
perfect.
yeah, let me do that.
I didn't think we were going to get through them all.
I know, right? I feel like I accomplished something here. I don't know. I guess the universe was on our side.
Yeah.
All right, so let me pop this up, and we can talk about a few more things. I think I can go for another like 15 minutes if you want.
That sounds good. Are you going to that Rid of Me show tonight?
I wanted to, I really did, but I promised Steph I would go to a cool, like weird, grungy punk house show in New Jersey with her. So
Cool.
yeah, it's her friends, Claire and her boyfriend Derek. So and they came out to our Bloodsport show the other night at Blood Bank. So you know, uh, spinning it around, giving the support in the other direction. So
Totally.
let me see here. I'm gonna stop this screen and then share this screen, and we will go to Void Instagram share. All right, here we go. So this is Evan's Instagram. You should definitely follow him to see all of the incredible work that he does. Um, and we've got a bunch of stuff showcased here. Here's another example of the smart execution of suggestion of something in reality, but still completely existing in this world that Evans built. Um, and like you've mentioned things about how like you love vaporwave and things like that, and I feel like I see that a little bit in this. It's again like just smart to suggest the face the way you have to cut off the lines where it becomes black at the end, um like here, you know what I mean, but also continue these other aspects of the line, or like these wispy um parts of color to still kind of like, I don't know. It's really fucking cool. I don't know. I would never think of making art like this. So it's just so fascinating to me, like how you execute some of these things.
Thanks, man.
I think it was smart to like put the line of the eye and just connect it right to where it goes over the nose, and all the way to the end there, and it's like it just really suggests like a spiritual element, like an otherworldly element, surreal, like like to.
Yeah, this was on my buddy Greg, who's just became an apprentice. So I'm
Nice.
super happy for him. Went to go visit him just the other day. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I've been keeping this live on the whole time, and people are just watching me talk, but they can't see anything that they can't see anything like or anyone I'm interacting with. They might be able to hear you. Um,
Okay.
but I'm like suggesting that they go to the YouTube. However, it's just like you never know with the algorithm like what is going to happen and how people are going to if people are going to see anything or but the real point of this is to make this video available for anyone who wants to watch it later. It's always fun to do it in real time and have people interact if they want to. That said, I'm super stoked to have you and talk about things regardless. So
Same here.
this is really cool. This is like an extension of the world that you made with the praying mantis. Only this is a frog, and that's really fucking cool. And the branches, that's sick.
Thanks, man.
Dude, I watched this video. Well, I watched this like show last night um about like really strange competitions, and one of them is like a little more known, frog jumping. And I was like, man, some people just like they devote their lives to the weirdest shit. Like there was one where it was a competition to run down a really steep hill called Cooper's Hill, but the tradition involved this is all it completely stops here, but the tradition was also to have a wheel of cheese go down the hill like first. They're not chasing the cheese. They're not trying to beat the cheese to the finish line. It's just that the cheese rolls first, and then a bunch of people just run down a hill. What the fuck?
Is
And
this like
people are like breaking their legs and their arms and like just trying to get down a hill.
is it like British or something?
Yeah, yeah, it's totally fucking British, dude.
Is it really, or are you just saying that?
No, for real, it is. They like take the time to like get this cheese and then like wrap it with like a bunch of stuff and tape it, and then like they just roll it down a hill, and a bunch of fucking crazy people just run down the hill too also. People
I think I
fucking
might have actually watched this thing with Swiggy.
yeah, okay, so cool. Like yeah, it was narrated by that dude Dwight from The Office, whatever his name is, Rainn Wilson, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, strange, dude, really strange.
weird tradition.
Fucking yeah, do you, I guess. But people are like permanently damaged from just running down a grassy hill after a roll like after some cheese.
Chaos.
Fucking weird, man. So here's the gift card that you mentioned, which has a nice print of the piece that you first talked about. Got the QR code on there. So if you are in Philadelphia and you want a gift card for a loved one or yourself, to contribute toward the price of a tattoo, if not the full amount, from Evan, get on that shit. Go to Floating World and pick one up and check out the shop because it's really cool. And the people there are rad.
Hell yeah.
Great work. Yeah, we talked about there's Evan and Shannon. Love those guys. This is interesting. This looks like it had some specific direction to it.
Yeah, it was so the bear in the tree was already there.
Yeah.
And then the job was Pennsylvania Dutch, and like I never knew the name of these things, but the hex sign that you see on like a barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're passing in Philadelphia or even in New York, you'll see like barns with like these things. I guess they're called hexes, and which kind of sounds weird because hexes are usually have to do with like curses and shit. But I guess yeah, it's like these ornate floral uh sort of crests, I think, like family crests or like um or regional sort of symbols, I guess. I don't know. Strange, but I think you did a good job with it. It looks great.
Thanks, man.
But it's specifically to like it. I mean, Makungi. What is Makungi? Where's that?
It's in PA. I
Okay,
think it's like near. It's actually near Scranton, I think.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend that's like Polish, and he's talked about these things as if it was a tradition in Poland, but I don't know if it's just an extension of the same idea or if it originated there. I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. Oh hell yeah! You got your hand of glory. Do you see? It's awesome
Thanks, man. Such a timeless design to be able to do.
for sure.
I'm so I just really need to put it out to the universe how grateful and fortunate I am to have all these amazing clients, you being one of them, but all these people who um, invest in me and my vision, and they trust the process, and I'm just so fortunate.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think the people that get work done from you um feel that love and that appreciation for sure by in translation with your work on their skin. You know what I mean? Like uh it's just really cool the kinds of things that you are able to create um for people to really hold on to a memorable experience or an idea. And yeah, I think for sure um you deserve to be supported and be uh encouraged to continue to do what you're doing. Like it's just so cool because when I met you, you know, you dabbled in art, you made art, you know what I mean? I watched you kind of work things out in your head about color and where things should be. And I have some really awesome work from you from our Sagittacia days. I still have it. And I was like thinking to maybe put up the false prism artwork, but I didn't get a chance to. I put it in the lineup there. So that's my bad. But like if
No worries.
you like, I feel like maybe I could just pull it up. I don't know if it's easy to find, but so I have to switch. Oh my god, we're on Amazon. What the fuck? Wow. I
It
guess
must
we're on
be.
Amazon. Huh?
It must be because of the candlelight element.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could find the. Here we go. Here's a picture. Okay, the Bandcamp. Okay, yeah. Let me pull this up because I wanted to just like show people that you've always had an interest in creating these like these compositions or these ideas of um, like your use of color, like showing different ways of kind of expressing power in the in the universe and energy and things like that. And so I feel like, where is that? Where'd it go? This is a window. This is a Chrome tab. All right, let's do this. Okay, share that. Okay, so yeah, like this is earlier Evan Void artwork, like coming into what you are still continuing to push now. And it's just so cool. Like, where did you get the inspiration for these geometric forms and like kind of differentiating the sides like with different colors, like suggesting the 3D aspect? Like, where is that coming from?
Well, at the time, it was definitely coming from the psychedelic experience,
Hmm.
um, which taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Um, in so much so that I don't even like need it anymore, which is like even cooler.
It's
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah,
It's like you you dipped your toe in to see what it was, and then it was all you needed to like be set on a path.
yeah, yeah. That's well put.
Nice. I always just find it like interesting how you put color into your work to suggest the form's shapes. And like in this, it's psychedelic because of the color change throughout, but it's like it's still, it's like they're like clearly like bricks, you know what I mean, of color in some aspect. Like they might not be like completely solid, but they have a an aspect to them that has movement and what have you, but it also has like a solidified feel because of the line weight. And I just think it's really cool because I guess I'm just really wondering like I know you've mentioned like Dan Seagrave is like one of your influences, like, but what other artists really inspired you? Like I know that you also mentioned Ed Hardy, but like any other artists that you want to talk about that like really inspired your execution of the art that you make?
Totally, I would say. And for anyone who hasn't seen the documentary, uh, highly suggest this. But mine probably tied for number one would be MC Escher and Salvador Dali.
Oh hell yeah.
And the MC Escher documentary Journey to Infinity is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Journey to Infinity.
So it came out in right before the Plague days, but
Plague days, yeah.
it just shows his whole life and how his surroundings influenced him.
Is this Salvador Dali, you said?
This is the Escher documentary.
Okay.
I'm sure Dali has one I need to see, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna definitely watch Journey to Infinity.
It's so good, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of looking at Beksinski's work on YouTube? Like a continuous compilation of his work on YouTube?
I should do that, but I admire his work.
Dude,
Sure.
it's awesome. And then you can also find one that is set to the entire to one of Bell Witch's entire albums, I think Mirror Reaper. And it's like, I mean, I know that it's not Beksinski that did the Mirror Reaper piece, but they just, I don't know whoever decided, but they put Mirror Reaper to a slide of all of Beksinski's work, and it's fucking mesmerizing. Like, for real, like some of the coolest shit. If you like are gonna just like fucking eat an edible and just it's so cool because like you just look at all the intricacies of the like fibrous like paint that's laid out. Like it's unlike anything else I've ever seen. It's really a shame that like things like fucking, you know, AI prompts can just, pump out stuff that looks like it, but it's never gonna be the originals. Like it's never gonna be, like the true form that he put into the world. Because that shit is just like it's incredible.
He's one of the kings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, I definitely aim to watch Journey to Infinity. Is it something you can find on Netflix, or is it?
So I actually had to pay to rent the DVD, but it might not be free anywhere, but it was worth it, man.
Word.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm definitely
Although
gonna
on Netflix, have you seen Struggle?
say again.
Have you seen Struggle on Netflix?
No.
It's about a Polish artist, Sukalski.
Okay.
I would highly recommend that.
I feel like Poland really did a good job in spitting out some incredible artists over time. I don't know. Something's in the water over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of really cool Polish artists. But it is 7 o'clock, my friend, and I really enjoyed being able to talk with you about your art and your process and your mindset. And hopefully, people that check this out feel the same. And yeah, I mean, I put a couple of things in the chat for you to check out. Um, Definitely go to Evan Void's Instagram and look at his incredible work. Definitely visit Floating World at 1729 South Street if you are in Philadelphia and you're looking for a killer tattoo, or you just want to see the shop or grab a gift card for someone. And then also, I included the South Street Art Mart at 4th and South, which you have some pieces for sale at. And yeah, man, really really fucking appreciate you taking the time to talk about your stuff, because it's awesome. I just want you to keep crushing it.
Can't thank you enough for having me, dude.
It's my pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Well, are you going to that Rid of Me show with Kowloon?
Yes.
I am jealous because I've been meaning to see Kowloon Walled City ever since I found out about them like 10 years ago, and I still haven't seen them. I missed the Silk City show that they played, um, and countless times before they played in Philly. And I hope you have a good time. I definitely want to make sure I catch them at some point, but they fucking rule. And Rid of Me is awesome, and Mike McGinnis and all those cats. Terry,
Yeah.
Howard. Yeah. Did you
Mike
know that
Howard,
Howard
another
is?
amazing tattooer.
What's that? Oh yeah,
Yeah, but probably
yeah.
I'm honored to call him my mentor.
Hell yeah,
What a
Mike Howard. He's a fucking killer guy, and he's an awesome drummer too. Um, and he's now, well, I don't know if it's spoiling anything, but he's now drumming for Moros, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah, and Jay, who's in Moros, also shares a band with Evan. It's a 2-piece. It's a rad fucking black metal project that Evan and Jay have been working on for a little bit now, called Anti-Helix. I had the pleasure of doing some layout work for their first tape release, and there's a new one coming out soon, right? Can you give us some info about that real quick?
Yeah, so it's fully mastered, and my buddy Jeff did the mastering in Chicago.
Hell yeah.
We recorded these drums here on my Neve preamps into Reaper, and they sound killer.
Nice.
Can't thank Dylan enough from Emperor Cabinets, who has been my music mentor,
nice.
or music engineering mentor.
Yep.
And so Vendetta Records will be putting out the Anti-Helix full length next year. I'm gonna send you soon the finished product.
Yep.
To hear. It's a party, bro.
I'm looking forward to
it. It's fucking fierce.
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked that you are like satisfied with it. Sometimes I feel like engineers just go down this rabbit hole with not being satisfied enough with their own creations, and because they have like endless ability to change and tinker, and it is just a really slippery slope.
Well said.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
This is a big thing that I was helped with by the Rick Rubin book.
Nice.
Yeah. So even if you find it in audiobook form, I mean, it might do something for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would like to listen to it in audiobook form. I've been enjoying audiobooks. I will say that.
Yeah, they're great to put on when you're drawing or working on other shit.
Yeah. Breaks it up from music or podcasts. It's nice to throw in a book every once in a while.
I'm going to stick one album in here, and then I'll let you go. But have you heard the new Valdrin?
I just saw someone talk about it on their year-end list, and I have been planning on checking it out, but I have not yet.
You're going to love it, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what I like, so I trust you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, with that, I will bid you adieu, and I hope you have a good night. Is Shannon going to the show too?
Yeah, we're gonna head down there together.
Nice. Well, tell her I said hi, and enjoy the show, dude. And like I said, just a total pleasure to be able to talk with you about your stuff. So thank you.
Dude, right back at you, man. Thanks for everything.
Cheers, dude. All right.
Cheers.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna sign you off, and I'm gonna just say something right at the end there, and then I'm gonna head out too. So
cool.
Thank you very much, sir.
Best to Steph as well, and thanks for everything.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I will relay the message.
Cool.
Cheers, dude.
All right. Rock and roll.
Love you, buddy. All right. So that was awesome. Thanks for everybody that checked this out. Really appreciate it. Next Form Terror Friday, I will be having quite an awesome artist on. I loaded my December pretty heavily, and I think people will enjoy my guests for the rest of this year. But specifically, next week, I will be having Danielle Gonzalez, Asmodeus Art on Instagram. And her work is fucking cool. It's all lycanthropic. It's a lot of werewolves. And who doesn't love werewolves at this time of year? So until then, uh, cheers to everybody that checks this out. Um, yeah. Have a good Friday.